Are we talking about Cosby? What's happening?
Oh God, yeah, Cosby's off
free.
the hook. He's free.
It worked. All of our efforts worked, Chrissy.
Hooray, we did it, guys. All of our prayers have been answered.
Those dance parties we had at the outside of the prison so he could see us.
Oh my God.
Celebrating him.
Do you think he'll go back on tour? Do you think he was writing in prison? Dude, or wherever he was?
It would be wild.
I would go see it. I would absolutely go see him.
I mean, dude, I mean, it would be so far beyond like the tension in the room of like with Louis, it was like, okay, are you going to talk about it? You know, like with him, it's like, hey, bro, are you going to mention that time that you got accused of raping 55 women or whatever the fucking number was?
Yeah. Or he could do like an off-Broadway like stage show and like bring them all on, and then like they could be, they could be part of it. Like we could get Lin-Manuel on it, and it'd be very diverse. And I think if he came out like guns blazing, just sort of like a tell it like it is, commenting on society, and like he could of course have like a prepared like, I was always innocent. I don't know. I guess they probably would tell him what he could say as far as that stuff goes, because they wouldn't want him to like.
I don't think he can get tried again for it.
Wow. And it was basically a technicality, right? Like, somebody told him he wasn't going to be tried, but then it was something sounding so lame. Well,
it was that there was a verbal agreement that anything that he said in the civil suit wouldn't be used in pursuing a conviction after that. And then they changed DAs, and the next DA was like read those transcripts. So it was like, oh yeah, remember that time that he admitted to giving women Quaaludes so he could fuck them while they were sleeping? Yeah, and like, so yeah, that apparently is like inadmissible. But
the chat is fired up. The chat is having differing opinions. Golgo thinks Cosby is not guilty of what he was charged with. I mean, he did admit to some things.
It's an interesting heuristic to look at it through, because if you read the Mueller report and decide that Trump was completely cleared, you're a Republican, and if you read the Cosby case and think that he was innocent, you're black. It's how
he should. I would watch him do a show.
What would that be called? Don't Sleep on Me.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on the cause.
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody gets free pudding. It's really wild. I think it would sell. I think people would go see him. I think they'd be curious.
He had a tour between getting arrested and being on trial.
Really?
Right? Yeah. He did some dates that were like super fucking awkward, but he was still doing 3 hours of sitting still. And there was he made some kind of joke about it, and that's what and it like, it obviously drew heat, and that was when they're like, okay, the tour's over. Let's
just like that.
That's all it takes.
Do you think he shouldn't be allowed to tour? Do you think he should be? Because there's going to be people trying to, I guess, cancel him if this tour happens.
Right. I mean, I don't think anybody should be disallowed to talk. And I mean, there's a free market to it, right? That like, it was the same, drastically different between him and Louis, but it was like the people that were trying to shut him down from being able to appear at comedy clubs is like, he could sell out MSG 6 months from now,
you mean
like
Louis?
Like as soon as he has the time. So, I mean, I think there's kind of a free market speaking just for this, right? That like, who's really been canceled in comedy that like their own audience isn't allowed to see them?
I can't think of anybody that
Owen Benjamin is the closest.
Okay, probably. Right. Yeah, I was gonna say like I could think of a few smaller examples, but yeah, Owen Benjamin, like whereas like had their own audience and then like were seriously thwarted from doing shows. I can't but I wasn't friends with him.
Isn't Owen Benjamin? This is only like hearsay, but he's trying to start like a compound of canceled people in like northern Idaho,
really?
Or, like, yeah, western Idaho, like where that whole like weird zone is where they're trying to like
I have heard this.
Some of Oregon.
I have heard this, and then like people, I guess some of the locals maybe are like, oh no, he shouldn't have his. I don't know, his collective up here or something.
Yeah, well, it's right. Yeah, you call it a collective is way better than calling it a compound. But it's so funny that like his whole thing was always like, I am not alt-right at all. This is like this got hung on me by Jeselnik, but I am starting a radical compound in Idaho. Like, whoa, which one is it, dude? It's like, do you have a fucking?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna bring this up. Neighbors.
Coup?
Yeah. Okay, neighbors. This is exactly it. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up. This article about exactly what we're talking about. Neighbors fear bear-themed compound will be next to Ruby Ridge. Alt-right comedian Owen Benjamin wants to create a refuge for his internet friends in Idaho. His neighbors, however, worry the rural site will become a scary militia haven. Hello, we are the bears. This is our bear-teria. Oh boy. I don't know. Let him have his ranch. Like,
right. I mean,
why not?
Right. I mean, there's militias up there. There's the friggin' Aryan Nation is running meth out of that bitch. Like, I don't think
are they really?
Yeah, I don't think some fans of a of a comedian are really going to be the big problem. But also, like, I mean, could you imagine like turning your life into a fucking meet and greet?
I mean, if you enjoy meeting fans,
right? Like, it's cool to meet fans, but like a commune.
People have been talking about it more and more. Like to go semi-anarchist, like not rely on the government, trade, barter, like raise kids together, like just sort of try not to need any outside help.
Yeah, I'm for sure supporting the Black Hammer Society. I don't know if you're following.
No,
them.
I don't. I am not following the Black Hammers.
Oh, the Black Hammers are. It's very fun.
Is it like an all like black, basically like this like a living area?
Well, yeah, they've acquired some land, I believe, by way of donation from some extremely woke white guilties that gave them the land as way of reparation, and it's a colonizer-free zone.
Okay.
It's basically a bunch of college kids that didn't go to college, but they've got like a couple AR-15s and like some seeds and some farm.
Oh Lord!
Like,
I mean, we all saw how well like Chaz and Chop wins, like when they would try to like plant stuff over like a tarp with dirt. Yeah.
So imagine the Chaz zone, but it's the most fucked up barren land that you can possibly like. It's desert and tundra with some river going through it, but it's absolute rock. And they post all these things of like all non-colonizers welcome, but like they got like immediate blowback because the one of the girls that was like really helping them is at best like the lightest toffee color that you can possibly imagine. It's like she's like midwinter Halle Berry with some whitening cream on top of her. So they already have problem of proving your lineage, that you have no colonizer in you.
Right. Or that's gonna be hard to do.
Yeah, it's like, but then it's like, oh wait, but then what if you're somewhat colonized? Like it's so absurd.
Yeah. What if you got banged by somebody way back when?
Right.
You know?
So it's basically going to come down to like, are you Octoroon? You can get in.